The need for a second stimulus package right away heats up as the number of COVID-19 cases escalate overnight and unemployment numbers get worse. Hey everybody, this is LALATE with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today, our fourth of 4 stimulus package updates. Earlier today, we delivered in our first video the importance of how to receive that second stimulus check if you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, or anything similar to that to ensure that you actually get the check, what you have to do. Our second video covered really shocking new details about whether your employer will or won't apply to get you that hazard pay under a second stimulus package, which is up to $10,000. Our third video explained PUA and UI and the importance to be teed up when FPUC may expire and then be reinstituted in July. But this video, as always, is our fourth video, is sort of the rant-ish update about why a second stimulus check second stimulus check package, not video, but package, is needed ASAP. And here we go. Shocking new numbers about COVID-19 cases and unemployment data. Ultimately, the unemployment data is getting worse by the minute. As you know, this coming Thursday, the new jobless claims are released. On Tuesday, Steve Mnuchin and the Federal Reserve speak before members of Congress. But we have new data today that shows the numbers are no good. What are we looking at? Currently, unemployment is now at 50%. Nearly 1 out of every 2 U.S. citizens is unemployed. It's showing an incredible drop. The employed rate before the pandemic was about 65%. The employed rate is now at about 52% or 47% unemployed. The problems are very bad. It shows that we're plunging to 52% in May jobless claims based upon the Bureau of Labor Statistics. On Thursday, this channel detailed that the Department of Labor's numbers were just horrible. It showed that for the 14th week, the number of new jobless claims for unemployment assistance tapped over 1 million. The ratio and numbers are just not good. Torsten Slock, Deutsche Bank's chief economist, says to get the employment to population ratio back to where it was at a peak in 2000, we need to create 30 million jobs ASAP. 30 million. The jobless rate is expected to decline this month to 12.4 based from 13.3 in May, according to Dow Jones. So when we see that labor number on Thursday this week, expected to drop from 13.3 to 12.4. If it's worse, this channel will update you. Right now, the economy's recovery is being dragged down by millions and millions of Americans without jobs and who simply haven't got it. Chris Humphrey, MUFG Union Bank's chief financial economist. The massive job losses means the economy is not out of the woods yet. It's really not out of the woods. Mitch McConnell has been under fire by this channel day in, day night, from day in to day night, over his ridiculous comments that he sees no economic data. The economic data is horrible, Mitch. The economic data shows no recovery in this economy. The economic data shows that the economy is getting worse by the minute. The new job reports come out Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The question is, how bad will it be? The number of new daily COVID-19 cases jumped from 42%, jumped over 42% on Thursday, and now it's about 40,000 new COVID-19 cases on Friday, according to Johns Hopkins. But the spread rate, which is a whole other issue, is quite discerning. You know, when we're talking about COVID-19 cases, they tie into the stimulus package the following. 40,000 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday. Well, that's 40,000 unemployed people, 40,000 people who need a second stimulus package, 40,000 new people who need FPUC. That's $600 from the federal government that goes on top of UI and PUA. These are people who are going to need federal and state assistance. You have 40,000 new people infected in one day. They need federal assistance. Why? Because they can't go to work. They will be unemployed. Moreover, the people that they live with need to take care of them, they are also covered under PUA. So every time you see a number like 40,000, you have to almost double it and say, well, it's about 80,000 more people that need a second stimulus package, like an extension of FPUC. And so people like Portman or Brady or Mitch McConnell says, let's talk about giving incentives to go back to work. Well, people who got infected by COVID-19 are not going back to work. So here's the other data about how many people could have COVID-19 by the time members of Congress come back from their Tahitian vacation. Here we go. A new report talks about something that's called RO or R naught. It was detailed by epidemiologists this week. And it looks at how there's a spread. The way you do this is you look at the spread rate in each state based upon the number of COVID-19 cases, namely the following. If one person has COVID-19, how many people does that person likely infect in that state? And there's different spread rates in different states, which shows how quickly the virus could spread and unemployment numbers could grow. Here's the data. Nevada has the highest rate of transmission of COVID-19 currently, 1.64, which means that for every person who gets COVID-19, they will transmit it and infect another 1.64 persons. This is according to a Monday data, this Monday, today. Montana and Florida have a transmission rate of about 1.41 and 1.4. Connecticut and D.C. have the lowest at about 0.77, and Massachusetts low at about 0.81. It's really quite discerning. So you have an incredible rebound, says the analyst on News Today. People like to say we're not in a second wave. I don't know what a second wave is if this is not a second wave. Here is the other concern. There is an increase of COVID-19 cases and hence an increase of unemployment by 5% in 37 states as of just yesterday. Those states include California, Florida, Louisiana, Texas, and Nevada. So all these states, 5 of them, are showing COVID-19 infection rates growing at 5% day to day, and hence unemployment growing by at least 5% day to day. That's why a second stimulus check package is needed ASAP. Here is what Gavin Newsom, governor of California, said yesterday. COVID-19 is still circulating in California and some parts of the state growing stronger. That's why it's critical we take this step to stop the spread of the virus with the biggest increases. But are states doing enough, and are they endangering your health and safety? Today, there was a fascinating report that came out of New York that shows perhaps some states are not protecting you and giving you a job to go back to. Governor Andrew Cuomo on Monday talked about something which hasn't been talked about much at all, which is the HIPAA filters. When you're given a job to go back to work, a lot of those viewers of this channel asked me this question. I'm given a job to go back to work. I didn't go back to work because I was afraid to get COVID-19, or I have a young child at home and I have to care for the young child. Unfortunately, the way that PUA and UI is written, the employer will disqualify you and you won't get benefits. And on the other hand, however, there's nothing to ensure that that employer makes your workforce, your place of work, healthy. As you know, one person returned back to a Las Vegas casino overnight. The story was all over the national news. Had returned from a lockdown, went back to work, and within 2 days died of COVID-19. Well, what is Andrew Cuomo realizing? He's realizing that COVID-19 transmits in its shape and size through certain air conditioning filters in malls and retail establishments that use a certain type of filter. But if they use a different type of filter, it will block the transmission of the virus through the air conditioning circulation system. All malls, so he issued an order. He issued an order that says that New York malls will have to have a certain type of filter that blocks out the size of the coronavirus before they can reopen. Because if they don't, the malls are just recirculating COVID-19 in their air conditioning ducts. Quote, all malls that will open in New York, large malls, will have to make mandatory that they have an air filtration system that can filter out the COVID-19 virus. New York has not allowed the malls to open unless they have this filter. The coronavirus's particles have a diameter of 0.125 micron, and that these HEPA filters, I think I may have pronounced it wrong at the top of it, HEPA, block filter particles that are 0.01 micron and above. So these HEPA filters block the COVID-19. These HEPA filters in the air conditioning systems block it, but others don't. You can see in these pictures, you can see if you walk down the street, you can see the crowds in front of bars, you can see the crowds on front of street corners. It's undeniable. This is a real issue, says Cuomo. Our reopenings have to open well. We're not going backwards. We're not going forwards. A lot of states actually have to go backwards. So Cuomo understands that if you're talking about people working in any capacity, you have to ensure that the air-conditioned filters provide that protection for the viewers, for the workers. Ultimately, if you go back to work and your employer just furloughs you again, you're going to go on to FPUC, you're going to go on to PUA, you're going to go on to UI. But what happens if FPUC expires in July and you're not getting the $600 from the federal government? What happens if your employer does not get you the hazard pay under a second stimulus check package? It's a big issue. If you have questions in today's video, drop them in the comments below and we may feature them tomorrow's recording. As always, stay with LA for more.